We're looking at the chart Bella, and this is the first ever cryptocurrency that I bought back in late February 2017. Back at this time frame, it was looking pretty darn near good on a bullish level, but at that time, and I would have bought it around the 20th or so, 19th, 20th, it broke out here. But the entire crypto market against Bitcoin was getting its ass kicked. And in this video, there might be, and there will be, a little bit of vulgar language. I'll say that I normally refrain myself from doing so. So much to the point that I already did this video once before and redid it because I didn't have much vulgar language. Because I'm already doing so many of these videos that I'm already like mindset not to, where in my normal day-to-day, it's not going to say, it's sometimes when I normally would say, oh, this is bullshit or whatever, I just won't say it. But one thing I'm using in theory, or not in theory, in practice, within content creation, you might have heard a lot of people talking about how their ads are not getting as much revenue because they content is not suitable for most advertisers. That seems to be fixed now. I'm not getting that like hardly at all. So I want to see if that takes place, because those words, of course, are automatically played within, well, they can automatically be copied and pasted. Meaning, if you ever want to take a quote from what somebody says in a video, the easiest way of doing it, especially if it's a long quote, is to get the automatic transcript in which it has, which you can get in the YouTube videos, and then copy and paste the sentences they were saying, so they can automatically state what's going on. Okay, so then why am I making this video? Well, I want to ask the question, Bella, or any of these coins like this, why do we own them? What good are they? I mean, literally, seriously, Artbyte, Ant, that's Aragon. There are hundreds and thousands of these codes. And what can you do with them? Bitcoin. Oh, I can use that as money in different places. Okay, I know that. Litecoin, I can do that as well. Ethereum, you can buy the ICOs to buy these coins that you really can't do anything with. Although you can buy it and sell them on the market for things like Bitcoin, which you can buy things with. And I can't show you all of the codes that are available on here because, one, I've only put so many on my list and I got a whole bunch. Two, some aren't even available because I've even been able to talk with people into particular cryptocurrencies, and they always talk about how they got things ready working in the future with their coins. How it's basically a hold, wait, and see. Like in some day, you're actually going to be able to do something. Like, to me, I think, no, it would be fucked up in this world to think that we're going to have thousands and thousands of these different coins and it's actually going to work. I do believe that all of these miscellaneous altcoins that come out, this one's a little new one, only got a few days worth of data, that they're not going to make it at some point. Key word, at some point, and I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. Now, I do give the benefit of the doubt that they could have magnificent, wonderful things that's just going to be so amazing. Like, I've heard things like, oh, Komodo is going to be so great. And I realize that any of these short-term plunges where people panic like no other and everyone's yelling bullshit because they're losing so much, well, in a good case, I know these markets go up and they go down. And I realize in a bad case, they go up and they go down. And I do feel that if there's going to be problematics within a lot of the altcoins, they haven't happened yet. But you're going to notice that a whole shitload of them will delist every now and again. It happened with MadeSafe even. Like, holy crap, that was something else. I didn't expect that coin would end up being delisted, but it was. I mean, how crazy is it that you can just make up these different things, call it a monetary unit, which is what this one is, and people are going to use it in the monetary system? Am I supposed to go up to Starbucks or go into Tim Hortons and say, yeah, I got some monetary units. Yeah, I want to buy my coffee with monetary units. I mean, obviously, I can't even do that with Litecoin. I can't go in there and say, yeah, I got Litecoin. Here's my, where's your QR code? I want to scan it. How much? Let's get the transaction going. Although some people are getting Lite Pay. So that's an interesting aspect, as that has just been coming into play. But as far as how the world economies are concerned, a lot of people, I think, are going, and they right now are getting their asses destroyed within this world monetary system as it is, from asset class to asset class. And it's a bullshit system when you look at how the fiat dollars are set up, where bankers can do what they do. Okay, what do? Well, they create loans, basically, and then you can deposit funds, and then they can make loans to like 9 times that amount, and basically when interest is created, that can never exist, and thus that creates guaranteed debt. Every country is in debt, therefore the average debt of the average human is in debt, like something like 40 or 50,000 or some sick dollar amount. And who are we in debt to? Obviously, if the average human is debt minus 60 or whatever number, does that mean other people in other worlds, other countries, other planets rather? Are they the ones that have lent us money from some other foreign planet? No, that's bullshit. That could never, ever make sense. But what makes sense is that some way, somehow, people were unable to figure out the Ponzi scheme for so long, and for this past decade or so, it has now been available within this decade. How do you do? The one thing that is easily noticeable is how more and more people are waking up and frustrated to the monetary model currently in place within their country, for the model's the same in everyone, compared to the ones that lose their frustration to it because they're like, you know what, I like this debt-backed system where our bankers can create currency out of thin air, charge us insane fucking rates that have destroyed so much of us. Yeah, let's keep it going. No, that is not the case. This is why people have been getting into things like Litecoin and Ethereum and Bitcoin. And because there's other cryptocurrencies and they can trade them, they're going up over, at least against the dollar, and nice profitable swings in most cases against Bitcoin as well. But as we can see, just going up and up. People are getting into it. Now, this is what I consider more of a free market, because people are also getting into gold and silver. And we look at its bull market over the last, well, it's going up a little bit. This shit has been manipulated like no other. It still is. So therefore, the availability to purchase the gold and silver at insane low prices. And as far as gold fundamentally, Fort Knox, I mean, come on, seriously. To me, it's one of two things. We have no idea what's in there. It's one of those, like, what's behind door number 1 kind of deal. And to me, it's one of two things. What it's not is the approximate area of the amount of gold they state they have. It's either a lot less or a lot more. A lot less because of the fact that They want to say they have what they're worth, and they don't. I don't know, they've sold it, they've done whatever, a lot more, because, well, they don't want people to know how much they got. And if people knew how much they had and all this, then the value of gold would be worth less. And okay, that's the thing about long term. But people will still be getting into it even still, though. That's the whole part about it. The markets have been manipulated to the point, at least from my point of view, there's some down moves in here where they can control all of the people who want to buy the physical supply. Of course, same thing with the silver market. So I look at things like gold and I realize it's a real physical metal on the periodic table that is priced substantially higher than that of silver. That when it gets mined, it gets stored and it just keeps accumulating. It keeps accumulating like my cryptocurrency balance does, because what else do you do with it? You hardly ever use it. And it just keeps going higher. From my research in that of silver, it seems as if you mine it every year, you use some of it, and some of it goes into investments, but, well, a lot more it seems to be being used than being mined, which means you have to take from your supply, if you will, which is diminishing over the years. Should be an interesting situation if we move forward, but maybe that information is not even accurate. Then we got the dollars, or the yens, or the euros, or whichever fiat currency that we want to talk about. Paper rectangles, which of course backed by nothing, all that yada 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 jazz. A bunch of numbers on a screen. That's, after all, they're pretty much mostly what they are these days. The percentage of transactions in fiat currency used via the paper rectangles and the very cheap metals is a very small percentage point. But the risk with the gold, as I state, is it could be really expensive. I see very little risk in the silver market. I see extreme risk in the fiat currency. I've seen what's happened in Zimbabwe. I have read and watched documentaries and heard information about Germany and other situations where fiat currencies go down to nothing because governments debase them so badly. So to say there's any type of safeness within such is a lie. Bitcoin. This one is a little tangible, but do I have to use the word little? After all, something like a spreadsheet program. Is that tangible? Well, it's got software written by computer programs that enable you to do spreadsheet functions. Is that not tangible? Well, isn't Bitcoin sort of the same thing? Made by computer programs, a ledger system for you to be able to have a unit of exchange and actually exchange such? Kind of much is, yeah. Free markets right now saying that it's doing well. But we're in a world of competition. We're in a world of new changes, new technologies. After all, Bitcoin is new. Nobody knew what Bitcoin was 15 years ago. It didn't exist, which is the whole point. New inventions, new things can always come into play. So safe, might use safer over others, but there's always the risk. I mean, Litecoin, just like Bitcoin, it's practically the same thing, except I find it works better than how Bitcoin works. Because in today's modern age, to use it as money, with the means to an end, there's a lot of things that can be purchased within such a coin. But like all the other ones that I talk about, these are all shit coins mainly for the most part. Mercury. What the fuck is Mercury? Seriously. What am I supposed to do with this shit? Well, I know what I can do. I can buy and sell this shit on the market, and I can just accumulate it to Litecoin and Bitcoin. But really, what is this? And that's really what I wish a lot of people would be saying with their fiat currencies. It's a bullshit system designed, of course, for the market makers, of course, And that's basically it. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.